Now, if you're taking your wife's name, are you also taking her father's name? So are you now carrying on with the lineage of her father? Man and woman can never be equal, regardless of what you may think. Man and woman can never be equal. Man and woman were never bred or made to be equal. Just because a woman can also be a mechanic like I can, doesn't make her equal to me. Just because a woman can provide for the household like I can, doesn't make her equal to me. Just because you can do what I can do as a woman, does not make you equal to me. Disclaimer, this podcast is all about real conversations. Raw, authentic, and unscripted. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in raw conversations are solely those of the host and the guests. If you're struggling, please reach out to someone qualified. And remember, take what helps, leave what doesn't. Welcome to the circle. Let's keep it raw, real, and respectful. Welcome to Raw Conversations with Herald Kavuala. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're a recurring viewer, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. YouTube tells me that I have a lot of recurring viewers that keep watching the videos, but forget to hit the subscribe button. So please do hit the subscribe button. It actually encourages me and helps me and helps the channel grow. All right, it helps me give you guys better content. And if it's your first time tuning in and watching me, please watch through this entire episode. And if you don't like what you hear, you don't like what you see, please do subscribe. It really encourages me and motivates me. All right. Now, to the matter at hand. South Africa recently passed a law saying that men can now assume the surnames of their wives. Now, that is so wrong in so many levels. And in this episode, I'm going to break down one. I'm going to touch on 5 reasons as to what I deem as the foundation to why that law shouldn't be in place, or why men shouldn't actually do it. Right? I'm going to give 5 reasons as to why I believe that man should still, that a woman should still take the surname of the husband. So I'm going to start from a place video so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And from there on, we'll get into why we need to get down and break down why I don't support this new law.
The Constitutional Court has undone the practice of women being expected to assume their husband's surname as the family name, describing it as largely a colonial import rooted in patriarchal norms.
In the case of men, they are deprived of the ability to assume their wife's surname if they so wish. In the case of women, effects of the scheme are far more insidious. It is not merely so that they are deprived of the right to have their surnames serve as the family surname where their husbands wish to take that surname. It also reinforces patriarchal gender norms which prescribe how women may express their identity, and it makes this expression relational to their husband as a governmental and cultural default.
The Constitutional Court further found that the extent and impact of the discrimination does not stop there.
The impact on women is also far-reaching. The symbolic consequence is that women's identities are subsumed into their husbands' families after marriage. This has the inevitable upshot of entrenching the notion that the husband is the head of the household. This practice also perpetuates the historical philosophy that women are not equal to men and become akin to minors upon marriage.
As a result, the Apex Court confirmed that Section 26 of Section 1A to C of the Births and Deaths Registration Act is unconstitutional insofar as it unfairly discriminates on the basis of gender by failing to afford men the right to assume the surname of women after marriage.
The declaration of invalidity is suspended for a period of 24 months to enable Parliament to remedy the defects by either amending the existing legislation or passing new legislation.
Kani Mapanga, SABC News, Johannesburg.
All right, now that we've heard that, and the reason as to why they figured that law needs to pass on. All right, I'm going to touch on that as well as I bring out the whole patriarchal thing into this whole situation, trying to bring men and women equal. All right. They just say this as painful as it may be for some people, but that's the honest truth. Men and women can never be equal, regardless of what you may think, man and woman can never be equal. Man and woman were never bred or made to be equal in any regard whatsoever. So for you to come and say that, oh no, we're trying to bring equality between man and woman and we're trying to come against discrimination between women, I'm sorry, but that's just how human nature is. That's just how the world is created. It's just how God made earth, made humankind, made the whole universe, man. Man and woman are not supposed to be equal. Let's just embrace that for what it is, all right? Let's get to the 5 reasons as to why I personally believe that this law should just be null and void. All right. Men should not assume the surname of their husband, of their wives. And if you're watching this, I really hope you don't do that as a man. Nothing against women, but everything for the men. Do not take your wife's surname. My reason number 1 is lineage and clan identity. The lineage of a family is traced through the man. You as a man taking your wife's surname, you throwing that right away. You're throwing that privilege away. As a man, you are the one that's in charge of your clan. As a man, you are the one that starts this lineage. You are the one that's in charge of this lineage. Point number 2 under the same topic, the same lineage and clan identity. When a woman marries, she joins her husband, taking his surname and carrying on with his lineage, or starting his own lineage. Some men choose to start their own lineage depending on the type of reputation their father had. Right? If their father had a bad reputation, some men choose to say, you know what, I do not want to be attached to the reputation my father had because it's bad. I'd rather start my own lineage. Right? In that incident, a man can change that, but other than that, no. And he doesn't want to use his father's name as the man, as the leader, as the head of the house, because that's what a man is. The man is the leader and the head of the house. And as a head of the house, you want everything to be under your control. You want everything to be under your jurisdiction. Some might say control is a harsh word, but I'm sorry. That's the reality. The man is in charge of his household. The man is in charge of how things pan out in his house. He's the one who's in control of his house. Number 2 is the family unity. Sharing a surname is a way to unify the family under one identity. You might consider this statement as neutral, saying that even as a woman, if my man takes my surname, I'm still unifying the family under one identity. But as a woman, you can't be the head of the house. I'm sorry. Yes, it happens that sometimes in relationships, the woman is a breadwinner. I can understand that. Maybe the man lost the job and is not able to provide at that point in time. Therefore, the woman now becomes a breadwinner. But that does not make you the head of the house. The man still is. Regardless of whether he's jobless, regardless of whether he's heartbroken and no longer has a voice, he is still the man of the house, and he still should be respected as the man of the house, regardless of his position in life at that moment. In the eyes of the community, and everyone else, when the family name is mentioned, you trace it to historical background, which is important when it comes to inheritance, land rights, and recognition. When a man passes away, he is the one that hands down inheritance to his kids, his wife, and his family member. He does it, not the woman. When land is bought, it's bought under the man's name. It's true that in today's society now, woman can buy their own land and own their own land, right? Now, when you get married, say as a woman, you still want to keep the land under your name, you can marry, you can do that. You can marry the land and marry out of community property. That land still stays yours. Right? Even for whatever reason, you can still keep it under your old name. You can still keep your maiden name, but your surname has to change to the family, to the husband's name, because now he is now yours. And I'm gonna get down to what I mean when I say you are now his. Right? Yeah, I'm gonna get to the point. I'm gonna break it down for you guys. Point 3 is the patriarchal tradition. And as you can see in that video, as you heard in that video, they brought up the whole patriarchal thing of trying to bring balance between man and woman and trying to bring discrimination. But there is no such thing as equal rights between man and a woman. I'm sorry. It just isn't there. Physically, naturally, scientifically, we are already stronger than We are built to endure tough times, right? I can last longer in struggles compared to a woman. A woman is made for soft times. A woman is made to have a soft life. That's why they have this whole passenger treatment thing going. One woman believes that I should be princess treatment, where one believes I should be treated like I should be treated like a princess. That's why we have stay-at-home wives. That's why they get maternity leave. That's why there's all these things that just make life easier for a woman, because that's how they were made to be. Women were made to be cherished. Women were made to be protected. Women were made to be cared for and loved for. They were not meant to be equal to men. So this whole patriarchal thing, it shouldn't even be a factor when it comes to the man taking the woman's surname. It shouldn't be, because it's never a thing. We are different in so many ways, and we're never going to be equal, whether we like it or we don't like it. The wife taking the man's surname enforces and acknowledges his role as the leader and the protector of the house. Anything that I own takes my name. It's as simple as that. Trump has so many buildings in America, and all of his buildings have his name. The Trump Towers, the Trump private jet, everything that Trump owns is Trump. Because he's a man, and that's just how we are built. That's just how we are made. So once I get married, my wife is taking my name. That's a real man. Do not let the system make you think otherwise. Don't make the system make you feel like, oh, you know what? Times have changed. We're in a different era now where things have to be equal. There is no such thing as equal when it comes to men and women. Just because a woman can also be a mechanic like I can, doesn't make her equal to me. Just because a woman can provide for the household like I can, doesn't make her equal to me. Just because you can do what I can do as a woman, does not make you equal to me. And that's just what it is. Whether we like it or whether we don't like it, that's the reality of life. That's how we were made. Now, my fourth point is religion. I don't care whether you're a Muslim, whether you are, I don't care, man, whatever religion you believe in. But one thing we all know is that the man is the head of the house. Now, I'm a Christian, and my reasons here are going to be based on the Christian philosophies and theologies, right? I'm going to quote the scriptures as to why this whole concept of a man taking the wife's name is not going to work. According to the Bible, according to God who made heaven and earth, according to God who made all of us. According to the Bible, God acknowledges the man as the head of the house and holds him responsible and accountable for his household, not the woman. In the Garden of Eden, Eve ate the apple. When God came down, God did not call Eve, God called Adam first. Say, Adam, where are you? He didn't look for Eve, he looked for Adam, because Adam is responsible for Eve. Not the way around. So for the man to take his wife's surname, that no longer makes him the head of the house. He's now submissive to her because his identity is linked to her, which is totally wrong. The man's identity should not be linked to the woman's. The woman's identity should be linked to the man. When I walk out there, when I'm seen, how I am perceived is a reflection of how my family is perceived. When my wife leaves my house, how she is seen out there is a reflection of me. If my wife does not look good, then I am not taking care of her. It boils down to me. Does your husband not take care of you? Does your husband not give you money for hair, money for your nails, money for what? It's my responsibility as a man, not the other way around. There are 3 scriptures as to why I believe this whole entire notion that the man cannot take the wife's name is totally wrong. That the man cannot take the wife's name. Ephesians 3:23 says, for the husband is the head of the wife, as Christ is the head of the church, his body, and which he is the Savior, of which he is the Savior. 1 Corinthians 11 verse 3 says, but I want you to realize that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of of the woman is man, and the head of Christ is God. Colossians 3:18-19. This for me hits home. Wives, submit yourselves to your husband, as is fitting in the Lord. Husbands, love your wives and do them no harm. Do not be harsh with them. This new law goes totally against the Bible and the hierarchy of the household before the eyes of God. And remember, God made family. God made the household. God made man. God made woman. God made man. God made woman. Not the other way around. So if you as a man are going to take your wife's surname, not only are you giving her the role of a man, you are now submitting yourself under the umbrella of someone that's just not supposed to be there. Something my dad said at my wedding, when I was getting married, he said, if your wife is the head of the house, that house is cursed. Because she's not supposed to be there. As the man, that's your duty, your responsibility. God comes to you when things go wrong in the house. God does not come to the woman. That's religion. Now, number 5, and my last point, is cultural respect and continuity. According to our culture, especially as us Black Africans, it is seen as a sign of respect to the man and his forefathers and ancestors that the wife takes the name of the man. And this, we cannot deny. Look, we cannot sit here and say we need to change how things have been done in our culture. If it's not broken, don't fix it. The system is not broke. The system is not broken. The system has been working for so many centuries. Families are still together when there is order in that household. As soon as there is any little inconvenience or any little disarrangement in the hierarchy, that household falls apart. As soon as the man takes the surname of his wife, that house is doomed. That household is destined to fall. It's as simple as that. The wife is symbolically affirming that she is now under the man's lineage and guardianship. That's why she moves out of her family's home to the man's home. She is now under him. It's very simple. Recap to the 5 reasons why I believe this law goes against every single thing. Goes against every single thing that a man should be in his house. Lineage and clan identity, family unity, patriarchal tradition, religion, and cultural respect and continuity. The man should be the one that's at the top. The man should be the one to decide all these factors, not the woman. Once she takes the man's surname, once the husband takes the woman's surname, as much as the woman can be like, oh no, I'm going to be submissive, I'm going to be a wife, I'm going to be a good wife to my husband, he must just take my name. That's not going to happen. Names have power. Names have power. If you name your child, this is going to be so weird, but if you name your child Thief, your child's going to turn out to be a thief. So now if you're taking your wife's name, are you also taking her father's name? So are you now carrying on with the lineage of her father and not your own lineage as a man? Nah. No. To all the men watching this right now, be a man and do not submit yourself under a woman by taking her surname. You are the alpha. In that household, you are the alpha. So she takes your surname. And then you lead the household as a man should be. You love your wife and you take care and you protect and you take care of her. So yeah, thanks so much for coming this far into the episode. I will try to keep my episodes short. I don't want to keep them extra long for no unnecessary reason. So if you made it this far, I really appreciate you. I thank you so much for listening to me and listening to my thoughts. These are my own opinions, guys. These are my views in life, and I'm just vocalizing them. If you liked what you heard, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. It really encourages me and really helps the channel do better, give you guys better quality, and allows me to even give you guys a variety of more other stuff that can be done. So please do subscribe, share, comment. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Stay raw and stay strong. Peace.